coming to you live from here in Accra. My name is Judith Brown. Coming up this morning. Member of Parliament for North Tong Samuel Kujeto-Ablakwa reiterates calls for President Akufo-Addo to immediately halt the sale of 4 hotels to Agric Minister Brian Champong ahead of this demonstration this morning. We bring you details as the ambulance trial resumes today, as Attorney General is expected to begin cross-examination of third accused Richard Japa. Plus, end-stage kidney patients below 18 years and 60 years are yet to have access to NHIS's free dialysis treatment package at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, weeks after the life-saving announcement by the Vice President. Details of these and more coming up shortly. Please do stay with us. We start with our first story, and the hearing of the ambulance trial or procurement trial resumes today as a prosecution led by Attorney General Godfred Yeboah is expected to continue with cross-examination of the third accused, Richard Japa. Now, at the last hearing, Director of Public Prosecution began the cross-examination of the businessman following the conclusion by lawyers of Dr. Kasil Atofosing. Among other things, Richard Japa alleged that he met the Attorney General 4 times, twice in 2022, once in 2023, and finally in March 2024. The third accused noted that at a meeting in the House of Justice Yoni Kulendi, the AJ assured him that he would be acquitted if he helped him to build a case to convict the minority leader, Dr. Kasil Atofosing, in order to obtain his parliamentary seat in a by-election. Now, the judge hearing the matter is Justice Ifya Sewa Asare Butri. Now, imagine having to spend nearly 500 cedis every 2 days to buy water from vendors to survive. Imagine having to visit the hospital regularly to treat your skin due to the use of untreated water for bathing. That is the nightmare of residents of Jamestown and other communities in the capital that are battling a daily struggle of water scarcity. Story by Christian Yale.
The
absence of good drinking water has turned life into a nightmare, a predicament that has become the norm for these residents. Though located in the heart of the capital, their lives have taken a harsh turn, costing them an arm and a leg to get water for domestic users.
It's very challenging to get potable water. Even the one we buy is salty.
Traders like this kinky and fish seller say they are pushing their meager proceeds into purchase of water from vendors.
I will travel any distance just to get water to do my business.
In the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, government supplied free water to these residents, but since then they have had to survive on their own. This is one of the few houses that have tanks to store water. In almost every 2 days, an amount of 480 cedis is spent to buy water from suppliers.
I buy twice daily from the vendor to fill my tank. Each costs 240 cedis.
That's very salty. Very salty to use, to drink, or to bath with it. And so when you come here, residents lament, skin-related diseases that they have to regularly treat.
Rushes no me hospital now.
I regularly treat skin rashes. Unfortunately, it is the same water I use to bath, so the condition persists.
Sometimes you even fetch the water to bath and it doesn't even let out with the soap. You have to apply the soap for several times before you even let out.
We are billed every month for nothing.
I visited other communities like Choko, Labadi and Bubuashi, where residents see water flow only at midnight.
To be frank, we are just suffering.
TV3 contacted the Ghana Water Company Limited, but did not get any official response at the time of filing this report. The Water Citizens Network, a non-governmental organization in the water sector, is concerned about the prevailing issues.
I think there's a lot that the government of Ghana must do to help the situation. The rationing is one big problem, and then the other side is where it's not available at all. And so those people have to be buying water. And what they buy, if even it's actually the quality is good, that's another thing.
Geoffrey Okanse says there is a need to increase funding in the sector.
Government must expand works on the pipelines running closer to where the residents are. Once government increases the funding to water and its production, it means the cost of actually having access to it will go low.
It now looks like a luxury to have good drinking water and one that can be used domestically. All these residents want is an urgent, improved water delivery to ease their predicament. Christian Yale, TV3 News, Accra.
To one of our headline stories now, and all is set for the Hands of Our Hotels demonstration on Tuesday, June 18, 2024, led by the National Democratic Congress Member of Parliament for North Tong, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, and other groups against the sale of majority shares in 4 hotels by SNIT. Now, during a news conference on Monday ahead of the demonstration, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa called on President Akufo-Addo to immediately halt the sale of the hotels. There's more in this report. Right, we'll bring you that report later. But our reporter, Emmanuel Samani, is at the Labadi Beach Hotel, where Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa and other protesters are meeting to start their march. Emmanuel, good morning. You've joined us via Zoom to tell us more about this. Now, what is the situation on the ground this moment?
Right, many thanks, Judith, and good morning to our viewers. As you know, the Hands Up Our Hotel demonstration is scheduled for today, will be kick-started in a few moments. I'm currently here at the Labadi Beach Hotel, where protesters will be converging on this particular point. You know, the Total filling station just before the Labadi Beach Hotel is where it will all begin. But currently, we don't have so many individuals here. Let me just pan my camera and show you what it looks like.
Right.
Just a few people here, but in a few moments it will begin. As we know, this demonstration aims to oppose the sale of some 6 hotels owned by SNIT to Rock City Hotel Limited, a company owned by Brian Champon, the MP for Petifi. So these hotels include the Labadi Beach Hotel, the La Palm Royal Beach Resort, Albina Beach Resort, the Rich Royal Hotel, Buzwa Beach Resort, and the Trust Lodge Hotel. Let me just briefly engage one of the conveners who is here. He's by Dramani, and he's with Ghana Action Aid for Ghana Action Network. Ghana Action Network for more on this. Dramani, many thanks for your time. You're one of the early people to come in, one of the lead conveners. Can you take us through the itinerary for today?
Right. It's pretty simple. We are converging at the front street of the Labadi Hotel. We proceed from there to Cantonment across the place, and we go to the Jubilee House, where a petition will be presented to the President of the Republic, telling him to stop the sale of those hotels to his cabinet member. That's Brian Champo, who is responsible for food and agriculture. Because the constitution of this country, Article 78+3, actually frowns on this kind of arrangement. Because the constitution says that a minister shall not hold any other office of profits or emoluments, whether private or public, and whether directly or indirectly, unless otherwise permitted by the Speaker, acting on the recommendations of a committee of Parliament, that holding that public office will not prejudice the work of the Speaker. And also, no conflict of interest arises or would arise as a result of holding that office. Similarly, Champo, as a cabinet member, is privy to insider information. So he's just leveraged on that thing to buy these hotels. Right. It is untenable in the face of the Constitution. It is totally repugnant, constitutionally and morally reprehensible. The president must stop this sale and possibly fire the board and management of SNICS for making this arrangement.
Thank you very much. So you had those are some of the thoughts on the conveners.
Right.
And so we're waiting for more people to come in. And this, of course, will be the convergence point of which the Hands Off Our Hotels demonstration will kickstart. So we'll definitely keep our listeners, viewers up to speed with all the latest happenings from right there.
Right, many thanks for your time. That's my colleague Emmanuel Samani bringing us details from the Labadi Beach ahead of the demonstration this morning. Now we'll move on to health, and the suspended medical director of the Trauma and Specialist Hospital at Winneba in the Central Region, Dr. George Kwame, is defending the decision of the hospital to leave a patient in the bush at Gomwa Ojobi, despite wide condemnation, including one from the former President John Dramani Mahama. Now, the video of the woman in a bush with a wheelchair by her side and flies hovering around her wounds went viral last week, prompting a public outcry. The woman is reported to have died 3 days after being in the bush. Now, the Ghana Health Service and the Minister for Health, Dr. Bernard Okuboy, subsequently issued letters detailing actions to be taken. But the suspended medical director says the hospital took responsibility for the patient's feeding, medication, housekeeping, till she was discharged and dropped off at a destination of her choice. Well, meanwhile, Dr. Richard Salome, General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, says they have also started an investigation into the unfortunate incident and will make their findings public shortly.
The Ghana Medical Association indeed has heard of the media reports of the alleged abandonment of the patients in Gomwa Ojobi. And just as everybody else, we were alarmed. However, we were also happy the Ghana Health Service has instituted swift measures to immediately look into this matter comprehensively. And we ourselves have also commenced efforts to look comprehensively into this matter and also make input into the Ghana Health Service inquiry that is ongoing, if I may say so. And so we have been informed on this matter. We are currently engaging our various divisional executives of the Central Region and then others to engage in the matter and also find out for ourselves what has been happening, listen to the medical team's side, and then also try to find out from the social officers' side of things and the various people who else also Ghana Health Service conduct. So we are also awaiting the report findings so that we can understand the issues comprehensively.
Still on health, payment for dialysis is still ongoing at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, despite government's subsidy for persons between 18 and 60 years and a waiver for other age groups. We visited the Korle Bu renal unit and found out that although the facility is now open to all patients, they are still paying for treatment.
It's been 3 weeks since government waived fees paid by persons with kidney diseases. Per the latest policy, persons 18 years and below, as well as persons 60 and above, are exempt, while persons in between this age gap will enjoy approximately 50% subsidy. But here at the Korle Bu renal unit, it's a different situation. Enoch Brako travels every week from Chibi to Accra just to get his blood work. Although he's up for a subsidy, he has to pay 491 cedis each for 3 sessions on a weekly basis. And evidently, things have not been easy. He explains help has been hard to get since government announced its waiver.
The government is still collecting our money, 491. We are still paying. We are not getting money. We are not working. And somebody, if someone is helping and he heard this, government has made dialysis free and he heard it, you stop paying for you. So I always been going there, but they say they don't have money because they heard that we are doing it free here. Why am I coming for money?
Enoch is only one amongst several other patients who are experiencing the same ordeal. Some have had to reduce the number of times they come for dialysis because they simply cannot afford.
We are paying. I even have my receipt here, 491. We thank them for what they have done. They should do more, because from 19 to 59, that was the people that they are sick. If it came to the time that you go to your dialysis, before you get the money, it's not easy. Sometimes the people that you ask them, if you call, he knows you are coming to ask him the money. So some of the time they didn't pick our call.
Those who didn't really pay attention to what the vice president was saying, they would say, oh, but someone to say, yes, this is here free, then you have to go and explain to the person that even though there was a discount for us, we are still paying.
All efforts to reach hospital management have proven futile. President of the Renal Patients Association, Kojo Bafwa Hinkra, says the hospital has promised to refund patients.
Kolibu here, what I know, they were having some few administrative challenges. So I followed up and I've been told to work on it as soon as possible. Apart from that, I also spoke to the National Health Insurance boss, and he gave me all the assurance that the people who have paid this month with their money, they will refund the money back to them.
With no timeline to the fulfillment of this promise, persons with kidney diseases remain at the receiving end of exorbitant fees charged for their treatment. Judith Brown, TV3 News.
Now, residents of Salaga in the East Gonja municipality of the Savannah region are demanding a timetable due to a recent surge in power cuts within the community. The power situation they lament is increasingly making life unbearable. My colleague Christopher Marco has more.
Electricity supply to the Salaga enclave has not been the best over the past decade.
Light off on me,
Several demonstrations were held in the past by the youth of the area to demand for an improvement of the power situation.
To register our displeasure to the good people of Ghana and tell them exactly what is happening. Salaga deserves better. This is not a status. This is Salaga we know. Salaga was started since 18th century, but this is what is happening in Salaga. Salaga, we are also experiencing this storm. We can't see it without light, but the light is a major source of addition to us. Our women are unemployed because of lights, and moreover, a day they can off the light more than 16 times. As regards to that, we decided to register our displeasure to come out and do this demonstration for the good people of Salaga.
However, the situation seems unchanged. Social and business activities have been greatly affected. Residents have had to battle with intermittent power outages, low or high voltage, face off, among other power supply challenges on daily basis.
In fact, the on and off of lights in Salaga is just like that of the beacon light of the ambulance. It goes off and on randomly. You can't even specify to see, oh, this time I wouldn't have light, this time I will be having light. In fact, it has affected people's businesses. The coal stores are crying. Those in the manufacturing sectors are also crying. The welders are crying. Everybody is crying. In fact, the Salaga lights, if government should not come to intervene about the Salaga light, in fact, it wouldn't help with the Salaga people, because we are also Ghanaians and we have the right to enjoy the social amenities of the country.
Water supply to the Salaga community and its environs by the Ghana Water Company Limited has also been greatly affected. Residents say the situation is a security threat as theft cases have been on the increase.
A serious challenge because these days, this time, more especially this period, we are into the other period, and people have traveled all the way from Accra down to Salaga to celebrate the festive season with us. But they have come no lines. Today, as we speak, my phone is off. I can't even charge. Yesterday, we slept in darkness. Every day in the I will sleep in darkness.
And that's our wrap up the 6 a.m. news right here on TV3. My name is Judith Brown. Don't forget, we go to station for full coverage of the Hands of Our Hotels demonstration today. And we'll go for a short break. We'll be back with the rest of New Day. Good morning.